And what was the purpose of the lawsuit being?
Objection is to the form.
As far as your training, that what you were taught the purpose of the lawsuit would be?
We were taught per Hubbard, where he just says the purpose of the lawsuit is to harass.
Objection, move to strike. Objection is to the form.
Is that in a bulletin written by Mr. Hubbard?
Objection is to the form.
Yes, it is.
Outside of training the staff at the U.S. Bureau in Los Angeles from 73 to 1982, were you involved in any other matters from 1973 to 1982?
Objection is to the form. Ask for a narrative.
I'm trying to speed things up.
How can that, but Ken, you've asked him to be involved in anything
I didn't ask for
in a
comment.
9-year period. Any matters?
Mr. Young?
I was put in charge of the PR Snow White program.
What is the PR Snow White program?
Objection is to the form.
The Snow White program was written by L. Ron Hubbard in 72 and 73.
And what was that program?
Objection is to the form.
He believed that there was a central point that was coordinating all the attacks against Scientology internationally. We were to find it and destroy it.
Move to strike lack of foundation.
And in what manner were you involved in the Snow White program?
Objection is to the form. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I started as the being in charge of the PR sector because and to coordinate with the other sectors.
Now, number one, how did you know that Mr. Hubbard wrote the program known as Snow White?
We didn't have any empirical evidence. It was given to us and you just trusted that it was written by him. It sounded like him.
Who gave it to you?
Objection, move to strike lack of foundation.
It came down from the Guardian's office worldwide.
Where was that located?
St. Hill in England.
And in what form did it come from the Guardian's office worldwide in England?
In written form, legal-sized pages.
And did it have Mr. Hubbard's name on it anywhere?
No.
And how do you know it was called Snow White?
Because that was the name of the program at the top that was given to the entire enterprise.
Was this written program given to you or to anyone else, as far as you know?
Objection is to the form.
It went only to Snow White personnel and was not to be shown to anyone else.
And who chose
Move to
this?
strike, not responsive.
And how do you know that?
Because that was the instructions.
From who?
From the Deputy Guardian US, the Deputy Guardian PR, when we got it.
Do you know their names?
It's Bob Thomas and Artie Marin.
Were they with you in the Los Angeles office?
Yes.
Was the entire Guardian's office involved in the Snow White program?
No.
How many? How many were Snow White people?
It started.
Objection is to the form.
I think you used a phrase, and why don't you use your phrase? How many were designated, and what was their to be involved in the Snow White program?
There was one Snow White in charge, and then there was one person in each bureau.
Okay, and you were in the PR bureau?
Yes.
And what was your function?
To implement the Snow White program for the PR bureau.
And how did you go about doing that?
We wrote up programs that were to be implemented by the outer organizations, such as San Francisco.
All right, and what did those programs entail?
Objection is to the form.
They were to get media attacking some of the targets that we had made, some of the government agencies.
What agencies?
FBI, DEA, IRS, State Department. Those are the main ones.
And at the time the Snow White program came down from the office in England, was the Guardian's office, where you were located in Los Angeles, part of the Church of Scientology?
Well, I suppose so. We weren't attached to a church, but since we were autonomous.
And who paid you?
The USGO.
And in what manner did the PR Bureau attack these government agencies?
Objection as to the form.
We might do pickets of the agency. We might get stories that were embarrassing to them. We got documents from Intel that we would use to embarrass them. We also had the legal bureau would file lawsuits against the agencies, and then we would get stories about the lawsuits.
Do you have any personal knowledge as to the other bureaus' orders in reference to the Snow White program?
Objection as to the form.
Just the legal bureau. I didn't see the orders into the Intel bureau. They were secret.
Move to strike.
What did you see from the legal bureau?
Just on some of their programs on how to file the lawsuits.
Okay. Was there ever an ending to the Snow White program?
Objection as to the form.
We were raided in 1977 by the FBI.
I move to strike.
How did they raid in 1977 by the FBI end the Snow White program?
Objection as to the form.
Because the purpose of the raid was to find documents that had been stolen by Scientology people as part of the Snow White program.
Stolen from where?
Government agencies.
Were any of these stolen documents in the office that you worked in?
Yes, there was a few that had gone into my files.
Your files?
Yes.
What type of documents?
They were documents that involved named Scientology, internal documents from Interpol in D.C., the Department of Justice in D.C., that had been given to me by Intel.